Good afternoon, everyone. It's Zilla, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're talking about the tropics heating up once again. So we have a couple tropical waves that are kind of starting to form, and those could potentially become our next possible tropical storm in Nana. Before I do get started with the video, I do ask you to hit that red subscribe button down below, turn on that notification bell icon, and make sure to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video up to 5 likes. So here you can see is NOAA's kind of areas that we're watching. So you can see we have two areas of 60 to 70% chance of formation coming off the coast of the Carolinas, and down here kind of to the west of the Leeward Islands. And then we have two areas right here kind of in the middle of the Atlantic, and then one coming off the coast that they're already monitoring that's not even over water yet. It's still well inland. And here is the 5-day forecast. So you can see a big area still here with these storms are projected to kind of stay at that 60% chance as it does kind of make landfall on the peninsula. And then here off the coast of Africa, this storm right here is expected to kind of fall apart and die off right here. Alright, so first we're going to be looking at some satellite imagery from Google, from Zoom Earth. So first we're going to talk about Invest 90L, which is coming off the coast of Florida. So we look at the latest advisory. An area of low pressure is located at about 135 miles southeast of Wilmington, North Carolina. This system continues to become better organized, and a tropical depression is expected to form later today or tonight, while the system moves northeastward near but offshore of the southern coast of the United States and then away from the land. And Air Force hurricane hunters are already en route to investigate the system. So as they said, this will become a tropical depression. They are expecting it to become one. Its current stats right now, the pressure is at 1,009 millibars, and the current wind is sitting at around 30 miles per hour. And then kind of towards the south here, we have Invest 99L, and its latest advisory states that a broad area of low pressure associated with a tropical wave over the central Caribbean Sea has changed little in organization since yesterday. However, environmental conditions are expected to gradually become more conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next couple of days, while the system moves westward at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Interest in Jamaica, Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, and the Yucatan Peninsula should monitor this progress of this disturbance, as they are projecting it, as the NHC did say, as it will kind of start to follow its path here and kind of hit that Yucatan Peninsula. Alright, let's get back to our slideshow here. As you can see here, we're going to start off with, I think this is, this is 99L. You can see we do have some convection kind of starting to form up north here, and a little bit of convection kind of starting to form down here to the southern side. So you can see not very well organized, but we do have some areas of convection kind of starting to fire off. So we'll be having to monitor that very, very closely. And then we have some kind of forming down here as well. So we'll have to be able to kind of keep our eyes on that. And here on the water vapor, you can see really some big water vapor progress is really starting to form to the east of this system and a little bit towards the south right here. So this storm is kind of producing more convection and more areas of possible water as well. So now we're going to move over to Invest 90L. As you can see, not much convection really starting to form with this storm. See, maybe a little bit of possible convection kind of forming right there, but other than that, this storm doesn't have much convection. It also, if it is going to become a tropical depression, it's going to have to kind of form that convection quite quickly. We'll have to see what the hurricane hunters find. And here on the water vapor, you can see areas kind of starting to fire off right along in here, so we'll have to be monitoring that to see if that intensifies at all. Now looking at tropical tidbits, kind of wide view Atlantic. So up here is where kind of Laura is, or the remains of Laura, and then here is 90. Here's Invest 99, and here's Invest 90, and here's that wave of Africa that they're kind of starting to monitor. So you can see lots of very broad areas of possible wave probabilities. Back on the wide vapor, you can kind of see, we already went over the two Invest. We're going to kind of look at this tropical wave down here. You can kind of see kind of very consistent areas of water vapor that is kind of starting to pop up on satellite imagery. And then here on Now we're going to be looking at a GIF from Tropical Tidbits, kind of showing what the tropical waves could be coming across here in the next couple 2 to 3 weeks. You can see lots of possible waves coming off the coast of Africa. Right along, you'll be monitoring this area right here. You see areas of low pressure really kind of starting to come off that coast here. A little bit right there, down to 1,004 millibars of pressure. But we'll have to keep monitoring this as the monsoon season looks like it's starting to pick up again in Africa. And here is the kind of sea surface temperature. You can see very consistent colors here with around 25 degrees Celsius, and then areas right along here in the Gulf with around 30 degrees Celsius, and parts of Florida and parts of the Caribbean. So we'll have to be keeping our eyes on this. And now we're looking at this, the sea surface temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit. So it's very consistent with mid to upper 80s with these sea surface temperatures, which could kind of help these storms intensify. They're not going to be as warm as we did have major Hurricane Laura kind of go through this general area. So the fact that these numbers are still kind of high is very, very concerning. You can see kind of towards the Leeward Islands where in this 99, I think it is, down here 85 degrees Fahrenheit, very, very consistent areas, so that we'll have the warmer waters to work with. And now we're going to look at the Saharan dust. So you can see very, very big areas of Saharan dust that's going to kind of cause these storms to not really form. You can see here there's a couple areas of Saharan air that's going to kind of make these storms really fall apart. So it's a good thing for these storms. Not going to be able to cause any damage or bad for these storms. They won't be able to intensify. But as you can see kind of up north where that tropical depression is supposed to happen, there's not a lot of Saharan dust. There's just a little bit up north, so that could kind of cause the storm to possibly intensify there as well. Now I'm looking at the shear map. Now I know it's kind of hard to see. I'll show you guys the more simpler map, but you can see down here at the bottom, green is favorable, yellow is neutral, and red is unfavorable. So here across the Leeward Islands are about right here. You can see a very, very large area of favorable conditions. But once you kind of get closer to that Yucatan Peninsula, you have very intense shear with about 30 to 40 on the intensity. And then kind of up north by Florida, again, here's that shear that's going to probably cause these storms to fall apart. So we have to keep our eyes, see if that kind of moves away or if it continues to intensify and come harder for these storms to really come together as one big unit. Now here's a more simpler map. You can see shear a little bit right here across Miami. And a little bit off of Mexico, so we'll have to be keeping our eyes to see if the shear kind of makes its way out towards the Atlantic, or not, the Gulf, and then maybe out towards the Atlantic in the next couple days, maybe in the following week. Now here's a tropical intensity guidance. You can see very highly favorable conditions for intensity, very broad area, which is very concerning. There's not much going to be stopping these storms from intensifying other than possibly shear in that Saharan area that we just went over. And then kind of off the coast of Florida where that other invest is, very highly favorable conditions, and kind of in the Gulf as well, considering that's what just went through there. It's very, very concerning and kind of crazy how a major hurricane just went in there, and there's still very highly favorable conditions for these storms to intensify. Now we're going to look at my 2-day forecast, or 48 hours out. So first we're going to kind of start off here on this coast of Africa. I don't have it really forming in the next days, maybe just a very broad area of low pressure. And then coming off the coast of Florida is currently at 30 miles per hour, or 1,009 millibars. And then in 12 hours, I have it reaching 33 miles per hour with 1,009 millibars, and 24 hours reaching tropical depression status with about, it's that low kind of coming together and forming into one with about 35 mile per hour winds and the pressure dropping 1 millibar. And then kind of where the Yucatan Peninsula, Leeward Islands, I don't have it reaching tropical storm status until it reaches around the very close to the Yucatan Peninsula. It's currently at 30 miles per hour at 1,008 millibars. In 12 hours, I do have it reaching, keeping that low pressure system with 35 mile per hour wind and 1,006 millibars, and then reaching tropical storm status in about 2 days with 37 mile per hour winds or 1,004 millibars. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below, turn on those notification bell icons, and I'll see you guys in the next video.